What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos. Today, we're coming at you from the mobile command center because right now in the Northeast, it's snowing. And I have no idea what time I'm going to get home today to be able to upload a video. So I figured I have some downtime now on my lunch break. I might as well just talk about something a little different, new little change of pace here for all of you newer players who are just entering the game and becoming a part of the community, or maybe for some players who have been absent from the game for a while and are just trying to get their feet wet and dip it back into the competitive, aspect of this game. So basically, I want to talk about a couple of things that you should look to try and do as a new player to help you maybe understand the game a little better, or try to begin your journey to become better at the game. So I guess we'll just, top 5 tips for beginners. I was having a conversation with my play group from Gamer's Edge the other day, and they were bringing it up. We were just talking about some of the most impactful things you can do in the Dragon Ball Super card game. And I felt like maybe we should expand on this a little bit this week, because I know there's a lot of new people that have started playing the game, and I want to cater to as many people as possible in this channel, veterans, rookies, and all of those in between. So the first thing, or number 5, I guess we'll go down in order there. Number 5 would be the Mulligan, right? So in Dragon Ball Super, when you start with your opening hand, you get a Mulligan, and you can actually pick and choose which cards you put back and replace from your deck, which is insane. There's not a lot of games that have a Mulligan. Pokemon doesn't, I don't think. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have a Mulligan. Magic the Gathering does have a Mulligan, but you have to put your entire hand back and then draw 7 new cards. And each time you do the Mulligan, you have to draw 1 less. So like if you do 2 Mulligans, you'd start with 6 cards and 5 and so on and so forth. So you don't get to actually pick and choose what cards you want to keep that are going to help you, play your strategy. Digimon card game has no Mulligan. Anyway, why is this important? Well, it's important because in a 50 or 60 card deck, there are certain pieces that you need to get, either earlier or later on in the game. You don't want to draw your win con super early because you're not going to play it until later on in the game. So you can afford to put that back unless it's a hard card to get, or it's a one-of, or a secret rare or something like that. Maybe you hold on to it. But I think the most important thing when you're looking at the Mulligan phase is your matchup knowledge of who's sitting across the table from you and how you want to advance your strategy. So number 5 would be the Mulligan. Number 4, we actually just talked about it, is matchup knowledge. I would say 90% of this game is matchup knowledge, and then 10% just comes down to your skill and your luck factor, right? If you know exactly who you're playing and what you're playing against, you can kind of formulate your strategies to help in that matchup. I think Dragon Ball Super, even though if you're looking at the card game from the outside looking in, it can seem very linear at times. Like there's certain strategies that the decks just naturally want to do. If you're playing a Broly deck, you want to swap. If you're playing Dark Broly, you want to get your 30Ks out. If you're playing Gotenks, you want to get your Grim Reapers out. So there is linearity, if that's a word, in most of the strategies. However, let's call it adaptable linearity. Even though you're playing a set strategy, you can still adapt to whatever it is your opponent is trying to do to the best of your abilities. Even though there's certain things that you have to do, you can sequence them different so that you can get to your, your overall best outcome. And I think matchup knowledge directly relates to that, because if you know exactly what your opponent wants to do, or if you have a very good understanding of what your opponent wants to do, you can kind of pivot yourself into a way where you're not in a losing situation. The third thing, or number 3, would be, in my opinion, charging. Charging, as simple as it might seem, okay, is probably, in my opinion, the most difficult thing to do in this game. Especially now that we're in set 12, and a lot of cards are very specific, and a lot of cards are very impactful. being in set 12 and having the extensive card pool that we do have, there aren't many dead cards that you're going to include in your decks nowadays, just because you have so many options to choose from. You know, back in early days, set 1, set 2, set 3, you probably built your deck of 50 cards, and there was a couple of cards in your deck that you're like, okay, this card's dead, I could charge it. You don't really run into that nowadays. There aren't as many 1 plus or 1 energy 10k combos anymore. There's a lot of free 5k combos now. So it's not like you can just slap down oh, this, you know, I drew this card super early, I don't need it, let me charge it. Because a lot of decks search, a lot of decks cheat out battle cards for much less than they have a printed cost. So I think charging and charging correctly is very important, because depending on how frequently you're going to see new cards in your specific strategy, you can charge a copy of that card, and that card might help you later on, and you'll never see it. So, you know, obviously there's like a big bugaboo about, oh, don't charge your super combos. Listen, sometimes you have to charge a super combo. Obviously, if you're playing a multicolor one, you don't want to charge it because it's going to be rested. But if you're playing a monocolor and you're playing the bottom deck draw 2 super combos, you know, you can't really activate that until you have 4 life. So if you're defensive, or if you play with a higher life total and you have a dead super combo early, sometimes it's okay to charge it. You know, don't feel like no card is unchargeable. So don't jump into this game with the mindset that you can't charge a specific card, because there are ways in certain strategies of getting those cards back if you really need it. Number 2, define what the game means to you. And what I mean by that is, you know, Dragon Ball Super is a very fun card game. It's a very addictive card game. I think most card games are very addictive, but you know, you can be a little obsessive over the game itself, whether it's playing or collecting, or you know, if you have a good play group, you know, and you just want to throw, you know, slam some cards on the table. What I mean by define the game is have a realistic expectation of what you want to do, okay? Obviously, right now, because of the global pandemic and everything going on with COVID-19, there aren't a lot of super competitive events going on. Yes, no knock to PPG and what they're doing with the webcam events, obviously. But as far as in real life play is concerned, we're lacking in that department. So you might not have the chance or the opportunity to, you know, get ready for a regional event or go travel to a bigger event. You might not even be in a good enough situation to have a local shop near your area that plays the game on a consistent basis. So what I mean by this is, look at the game and tackle how you want to play it. Do you want to play it super competitively, or do you just want to play, you know, casual, you know, Friday night with your boys, you know, pizza and beer type of stuff? Have an idea of what you want to do, and I guarantee you'll get the most enjoyment out of it. Because if you go into the game telling yourself that you want to play for fun, but then you're upset that you're not getting the results that you're expecting because you're playing non-tier 1 or tier 0 decks, then obviously you're going to be disappointed. So have an idea of what you want to do. If you want to make this your main game and be super competitive, by all means. But if you're just playing Dragon Ball Super to pass the time, or to maybe just have fun with your buddies, that's not wrong either. Just make sure you have an idea of what you want to do with the game, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it for a very long time. So the number one thing, or the number one piece of advice I could give to returning players or new players, it's kind of like a two-parter. If you're lucky enough to have a group of friends that plays with you consistently, definitely exhaust that resource as much as possible. I've been very lucky in, you know, when I lived in northern New Jersey, having a very established play group there and having a really solid group of guys and group of friends that we would just bounce ideas off of each other left and right, and we would always play test and stuff like that. And now in my second stint since returning from an absence, I've also had that luxury of being accepted into an already existing community in northern Pennsylvania, which is where I live now. So if you have a group of friends, or if you have a group of people that want to play the game together, you're already ahead. You're already winning, because what is lacking or what's missing from the community right now is the accessibility to in real life events. And even though playing with your buddies across the table is not a specific event, it still allows you to play the game the way it was intended to be played. And that's with social interaction and just having fun. So if you're lucky to be in that position, by all means, hold on to it because it's very dear. Now, just because you might not have a group of friends that plays the game, I don't want to discourage anybody from trying this game. We have a multitude of resources, whether it's Discord or Facebook or, you know, YouTube channels, or tons of people are always looking to play or always looking to chat about the game. So if you're just coming into this game on your own and you don't have anywhere to play, I definitely recommend looking up some content creators or going into the Facebook groups and just messaging people. Hey man, if you have some free time, you want to throw some cardboard together, maybe play on a webcam, maybe play on Untap, you can go into people's Discords and play there as well. There are definitely avenues to experience play with this game. Just because there aren't shops that are open, just because the game might not be popular in your area, doesn't mean you can't play the game. Now, if you're craving in real life play and you don't have anybody in your area, then obviously that's different. But there are many different resources, you know, via webcam or on tap that you can experience gameplay with other players and just chat it up. And, you know, work on your strategies and work on your gameplay and work on getting better at the game. So, I guess that's it. I guess those are like my top 5 things to look at as a new player or a player coming back into the game. I guess honorable mention would just be to have fun, guys. Like, right now, you know, 2020 wasn't the best year. A lot of people went through some hardships. A lot of people are still going through hardships. If you can find that glimmer of, you know, entertainment or fun, you know, definitely hold on to it. Like, this is a card game that's supposed to be played for having fun. And obviously, most people have a competitive fire that burns inside of them. Most people are, I'm a very competitive person. I hate to lose, but I lose very often and I learn from those losses. So, you know, don't do it for something that it's not. It's definitely a card game that's supposed to be for fun. Just go out there and have fun. That's basically what I'm trying to say. If anybody is, you know, who's watching this video is a newer player and you need, you know, help or you need advice or you need to know what cards to and what cards not to pick up, there are so many ways you can contact us. You can email us. You can find us on Facebook. We have our own, you know, separate group on there. You can join our Discord. There's tons of people in the Discord that are always talking Dragon Ball and just willing to bounce ideas off of each other. The whole point is to make the game grow and to help grow the community. And the only way we could do that is with introducing new players and having older players that don't play anymore come back into the game, you know, and have fun doing so, right? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like I said, hit me up if you guys need anything. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. I know I really don't do these types of things too often, but I felt like it was worth it to at least talk about it a little bit, maybe to get different perspectives. There are tons of content creators out there where you can get tons of information from, but we all have different points of views and we all have different opinions. So the more the merrier, in my opinion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything No Counters, No Combos, and we will see you guys in the next video. Be there or be squared.